Hey there guys, it's Francesca from Consciousful Tarot. Thank you so much for tuning into my YouTube channel and clicking on this video. Today I'm going to be making a new series of educational videos, and this is going to be my first video explaining the law of attraction, how it works, what is it, and a secret formula and law that no one is talking about that you must infuse with your law of attraction practices in order to actually make it work. So the law of attraction simply states that whatever's in your mind will translate into your physical world. Hence, the universal law, like attracts like. So whatever you end up thinking will manifest into your physical reality. And this is not something you necessarily have to believe in order to be true. It's just something that is. The law of attraction, it's basically, for example, if you begin to think a lot of fear-based thoughts, and you feel the fear, right? You're going to attract people, places, and things that will make you feel that fear. And on the other end of the spectrum, if you think a lot of loving thoughts of safety, you're going to attract people, places, and things that will make you feel safe. It all comes down to basic science, but it also just comes down to how reality works. It's important to understand that oftentimes a lot of our thoughts that we have, and mind you, thoughts are electric and emotions are magnetic. So a lot of the thoughts that are in our mind electrically, right, are electrically charged in our mind, sometimes they're not generated from us. Sometimes they can be influenced by our environment, right? Or the way that we were raised, because the law of oneness explains that we're all connected. All of our thoughts are connected, right? So what I want to explain before I give you the details about the secret law that you need to use in order to make your law of attraction practices work, what I want to explain is the fact that a lot of our thoughts and our emotions are generated and influenced by our external environment. So for example, let's talk about the way that we're raised. Sometimes we're raised into environments, right, that are very dramatic. For the most part, a lot of people are raised with family members or folks around them that already have certain conditioning. And these conditionings that people are in, I can break it down into 3 things, because this is typically the human phenomenon, which is you can be raised in an environment that will condition you into these thoughts and emotions, such as the persecutor, which is someone that has a superior complex. They're always pointing the finger at someone else. It's always someone's fault. Very controlling, very blaming, and critical. Then you have the other one, which is the rescuer, which is let me help you, the enabler, the pain reliever, the codependent victim, and the one that usually numbs and avoids. And then you have the victim, which someone that typically has an inferior complex. They're like victimizers, they're martyrdoms, powerless, helpless, stuck, and sometimes suffer from emptiness syndrome. So the reason why I want to mention this is because a lot of the times we are raised in these environments with people that have these conditions, and they kind of like program us into having thoughts and emotions that generate from their programming, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's ours. So I'm here to explain to you that it's important to understand that not all your thoughts and emotions are yours. And it's just going to give you a lot of power and self-awareness over what you do want to manifest and generate for yourself. And I did want to explain this just because I also want to ask you guys if you guys want to know more about environmental conditioning, complexes, inner child wounds, and programming and conditioning and trauma. So if you guys want to know more about this, you can leave it in the comments below. And now, So the secret law and formula that no one is talking about and that I'm finally here to explain is the law of subtraction. So the law of subtraction simply states that the degree to which you let go is the degree in which you will receive. So this basically indicates that you'll need to do two things in order for the law of subtraction to be effective, and intermingle it with the law of attraction in order for your law of attraction practices to actually come full force and to actually work. So the two things that you need to do in order for the law of subtraction to work is to let go of attachment and let go of outcome. But let me go ahead and give you an example of the law of subtraction and what it technically means. So it's simple, but yet it's not so simple at the same time to put into practice. The law of subtraction states the degree in which you let go is the degree in which you will receive. So let's say you have a jar of Oreos and you really, really like Oreos. You've been eating them for a long time. You're conditioned to eating Oreos. And you may even think that if you don't eat Oreos, you may not get your sweet tooth quenched, right? But then all of a sudden, you want gummy bears in your jar. So what do you have to do in order to get the gummy bears in your jar? You have to remove the Oreos out of your jar in order to put the gummy bears in there. But sometimes removing what we want, subtracting what we want in order to make space for what we actually need or want is hard, because that attachment, the meaning that we give to things, is what's hard. And the ability not to trust the outcome that we'll get satisfied with the new reality, right? With the gummy bears, right? In this case, it's hard, so that's why it's important to implement these two things, these two formulas, into the law of subtraction. So the letting go, so simply letting go of the meaning that you give to your old self, your old job, your old relationship, your old belief systems, letting go of the meaning behind it, right? The beliefs, the story you tell yourself. That's a good way to let go of the attachment. To let go of outcome is to let go of desire, because desire is a low frequency. It's a frequency that puts you in a beta brainwave state, that puts you in a state of survival where there's no room for transformation or flow, because desire creates resistance. So when you are fearful of a certain outcome, right? For example, let's say it's transitioning from one job to another. You're not letting go of this current job because you're scared that the outcome of the other job isn't going to produce the money that you're wishing for, right? Or that you're projecting. But letting go of the desire to know, right, puts you in a state of certainty and neutrality, which puts you in an alpha brain state of transformation and flow. And that's when and where there's space for change. So letting go of outcome is also important practice in the law of subtraction, because it creates neutrality, so you're able to actually transform and you're literally vibrating in a higher frequency. So the reason why the law of subtraction is vital in infusing it in your law of attraction practices is because the law of subtraction is actually going to give you the energetic signature that you need in order for your law of attraction practices to work. A lot of people, they'll begin their law of attraction practices and they're still vibrating in desire, in anger, in need, right? In hatred, in fear. So they're thinking all these positive thoughts, yet their frequency is not an energetic match to what they want. You see what I'm saying? So what the law of subtraction does is that it aligns your energy to your thoughts, because the law of attraction, what it's doing is that it's harnessing your thoughts. It's focusing your thoughts on what you want, but the law of attraction is actually going to be able to raise your frequency to calibrate you into that divine timeline that you seek and quantum leap you into that possibility that's already available for you. But the reason why a lot of people's method is not working is because they're not utilizing the law of subtraction. It's like they're trying to paint a picture on a canvas that's already been painted. And you need to wipe away the old picture in order to create a new one. So now I'm going to go ahead and talk about the 7 steps that you can take to achieve the law of attraction and hone the law of attraction, which is very simple steps. The first one is to stop relying on luck. So wishful thinking, daydreaming, and superstition is not going to be your friend during law of attraction, during your law of attraction practices. It's going to circle you in desire, which is only going to keep you in illusion. Number 2, you want to focus on what you truly want. And I'm going to say a quote that has forever changed my life. Where attention goes, energy flows. Number 3, you want to plan and take an action. So without action, your manifestations won't come to life, because there's another law called the law of correspondence and the law of action. So you get as good as you give, right? And without action, there can't be any growth. This is on a universal level. The law of compensation also states that you get as good as you give. So you can put a lot of intentions in, but if you don't put in the work, it's just not going to happen. Number 4 is visualization. So visualization is one of my favorites. It's basically you imagining a holographic image of the reality and the timeline you want to be in. But what you're doing is that you're embodying all your senses into that reality, into that scenario. And remember, a lot of you guys probably don't know, but your brain doesn't really know the difference between an actual event that's happening and an event that you're experiencing emotionally. So let's say if, for example, you're in the middle of a jungle and there's a lion that's there trying to eat you, your brain is automatically going to go into fight or flight and you're going to get scared. But let's say you're just in your room and you're just imagining that there's a lion coming to get you. You're still going to experience the same emotional responses. You're still going to experience the same electromagnetic, energetic response in your body and in your brain. So it's going to be important that when you visualize, you really embody all your senses into that reality. So whether it's a new job, a new location, a new way of feeling, you want to embody all your senses and rehearse your new reality. You want to rehearse it, right? That's what the visualization is mainly for. Number 5, you want to practice positive affirmations. So this honestly comes down to inner dialogue and self-talk. And ultimately, this is going to help you remove scarcity thoughts and thoughts that don't align with the energetic signature that you need. This doesn't mean that you have to read off a piece of paper. Ultimately, what I suggest when it comes to positive affirmations and thoughts is simply to do the visualization before to embody the high frequency and the electric magnetic emotions that are going to charge you to a high frequency. So then once you have those thoughts, it's going to align you quickly to that reality and to that possibility that's already available for you. Number 6, gratitude. So gratitude is also one of my favorites because remaining grateful, it's going to actually help you quantum leap faster into your desired reality, and it's going to help your manifestations come to life quicker, because if you're already grateful for something that you don't have, it's going to attract it closer to you, right? And being grateful, a state of gratitude, is also a high frequency, so it puts you in an alpha mind state and brain state. And the alpha brain state it gives you a space to transform and flow. It's not in a state of survival, creating resistance. It's in a state of flow and free from resistance. So gratitude is very important in the laws of attraction and the practices. And last but not least, meditation. So meditation is going to be the last one, because what it basically does is that it collects all the knowledge that you're doing in each step, all the embodying, all the practices. And what it's doing is that it's putting yourself in that equation so you can recreate circuits in your brain and rewire the subconscious mind to replace them with a new mind, right? With a new belief, set of belief systems, with a new attitude, and then hence a new personality that will generate a new personal reality for yourself. So during the meditation, you're going to go from thinking to feeling, and then eventually you become that in what you want to attract. Okay guys, so I did this video just to give you a glimpse of the life-altering knowledge that I would give you in a reading with me. Obviously, during a reading, I use my divination tools and I give you a much customized reading specifically for your needs, specifically for what you're going through and how you can transform your situation, enhance it, or help yourself in it. So if you want a personal reading with me, I have live phone calls. I do audio recordings that I send you via email, and I also have Reiki healings. And I specialize in love and relationships, career and finances, spiritual and life path. I could help you heal your relationships, remove yourself from a toxic one, or help improve a toxic one, attract your desired relationship or soulmate or twin flame. I can help you improve your mindset in your career. I can help you better your career. I can help you attract the career that you want. And I can help you understand the spiritual purpose that you have in this life path. And for my Reiki healings, my popular Reiki healing is the love Reiki healing, so I could help improve your relationship by releasing blockages between you and your partner, and it could also help release interferences if there is any interferences. And for my personal Reiki healings, what it does is that it helps elevate your frequency. It gets you into alignment so you could actually implement your law of attraction practices in a much easier way. And then last but not least, make sure to infuse the law of subtraction with every step of the law of attraction, and your manifestations will come into fruition very quickly. I want to give a huge thank you to all my new subscribers. I hope you guys enjoy these new videos, and take care and have a good day. Bye, my star friends.